Teachers have difficulty, often difficulty working with data because it wasn't part of their education going into teaching. Anyone who was taught to be a teacher pre-No Child Left Behind, pre-2001, and even in some cases after that year, really didn't get the coursework to help them look at data and use data meaningfully. In addition to teachers being very, very busy people, the MO of teacher operation for years and years wasn't really invested in looking at data and making instructional decisions based on that data. And so No Child Left Behind and all the legislation that happened with that and all the testing and the test scores that came out because of that left teachers in this sort of learn as you go methodology of making sense of data. So for lots of them who were trained in teaching way before those acts, there was no preparation for them to really learn how to review and also respond to data. When I refer to the big data or the macro data, that's usually the end of the year stuff. That's usually the testing data. That's usually stuff driven by either now the Common Core test results as we get those assessments underway. The micro data has to do with the stuff that's happening in the classroom with every teacher all day long. And so if you can picture a pyramid, at the top might be the big end-of-course testing. At the bottom would be the more useful, in a sense, the more useful data that comes in continually as we teach. So I think the usability of the data is inversely proportional to how big it is. The big data gets us the big picture of what's happening with students in terms of their gaps. It isn't until we start to look at the daily data, the more frequently received data, that we start to see what's really happening. I think the teacher team would probably generate an exploratory question with the big data. After that, it's the little data, the micro data, that should be brought to the table to help answer what it is that we're seeing exactly. So we think we have a gap, but maybe it could be that the gap is caused by two other things that are really the problem. And if we just spend our time with the one ancillary piece, we may be missing the cause stuff. So the little data comes into play to say, really, let's paint a really detailed picture of what we have here.